Hello, this is the 64th lecture of the Semantic SEO course. In this lecture, we will dive into our article methodology. Once we ask about how to know about the pH of the drinking water. In this area, one more time, we tell that this is actually a general introductory part, which means that whatever we tell in this area or in this area or here, they all will be back connected to this section as much as possible. Defining the pH of the water, acidity, alkali water, or features of these waters, usages or uses of these water, benefits and harms of these water types, they should be given in a summative way. Which means that we won't keep this section so long, because if we keep it so long, the specific question in this area, it will be less relevant. That's why our purpose here is giving an overall summary and starting actually our definitive part as much as possible. And in this area, as you see here, we define the pH of the water, but here we just define the pH. So we actually give both of the definitions as much as possible and in a better way too. And we keep this part also short too. Basically, we are balancing our overall contextual weight to stay in the borders of this query network as much as possible. We usually call this contextual coverage. If we cover in this area too much, then asking this question here, it will be redundant, and the next parts, like the parts in this area, they will be less relevant. When it comes to here, as you see, we directly tell that human health section should be actually explained, because as you already know, the benefits of the water, which is connected to the quality of the water, and it will be connected back to the actual luxury of water. This is the most important attribute for us in a direct way. When you look at this section, we directly tell our author to use this phrase, drinking water pH level chart, and it is an image annotation. We give the image example here. pH effects on water should be explained. We tell taste effect or health effects, or how pH affects the taste of the drinking water specific question should be mentioned. And we put the chart to the end of the specific area or at the end of the area as well. In our chart, if we are able to mention the words like sparkling water, tap water, bottled water in a representative way, it will be also helpful for us further for further relevance and responsiveness too. Because if we are able to use this representative image directly to be searched in the search engine result pages, it will be affecting our overall responsiveness and of course CTR and historical data one more time. And when it comes to the testing the pH level of the drinking water, we talk about pH meter for the water and what kinds of methods and the tools actually can be used for that. Then we directly ask the safe pH ranges. In this section, you should understand one more thing. pH levels, pH measurement, and pH ranges, and which ones are safe. All these contexts and the phrases, they are actually connected to each other. And here we want author to especially use these 9.5 pH water specific phrase, and the best pH for drinking water specific phrase should be used too. How this range is determined and what pH level is dangerous to drink. So we give also the risk. It is important to use the word dangerous here, or the risk, because it's an antonym with the safe as well. Once we talk about the risks and the dangers, then we actually go to the harms context directly. We ask the harms of the high pH and also the low pH one more time. So we give its health effects, the benefits, and then we give actually harms for both of them. And here we talk about alkaline water. We define it one more time, then we actually try to link it and alkaline water and acidic water in a closely related way to each other, because these are nearly opposite. Then we give the acidic water and we give the harms and the benefits from the point of comparison section. Then we talk about how to lower the pH of the drinking water. In this section, we try to give the specific tips or some other types of measurement methodologies as much as possible. All the purpose in this area, when it comes to the lowering the pH, or let's say making it higher for certain types of purposes, all the sections in this area, it is actually mainly for connecting these specific things to each other with a fuzzy logic, which means that, as you know here, we mentioned a 9.5, or there are some other types of levels in this area. But from time to time, if we have a soda, and if these are the pH levels here, and if we need to drink the soda, but if we can't drink water from this pH level, how we can change it, and if we change it, what will be the effect for it. So we try to actually take an attribute for all the water types, then we measure it, calculate it, and change it, and then we try to understand how it affects the definition of that specific water type one more time. And this is actually, this section is directly a contextual border here. Before this part, these are actually main content directly, and after this specific question, these are the supplementary content section as much as possible. And in this area, we have chosen this question in a direct way because we try to take one of the attributes of a type of water and we try to manipulate it like in any other water type. And once we ask this specific question, what are the common drinking water pH levels? We actually, again, one more time, annotating the information in our image, which is the representative image, and we start to give the definitions of all these water types. Then we are giving their pH ranges, and we are giving the effect or the benefit of this water in the context of pH one more time. And then for just the A13, which is distilled water, we give subtypes of bottled water and their pH level with an exact answer, like bottled mineral water, bottled spring water, bottled artesian water, bottled glacial water, bottled alkaline water, bottled rain water. If I want to structure my sequences or word sequences or sequence models further, I use this specific structure in this area. And we are trying to use all these sequences together with the bottled water, because once we have the distilled water in this area, we will need to actually connect the context back to the bottled water, and from there we will be able to directly process the pH levels and their health effects and their pH ranges and how they are measured and some other sections as well. So as you see here, one more time, we have a macro context and a micro context. Again, we have a main content and a supplementary content, and we have a contextual border. One more time, according to the target page that we have chosen here, we have chosen some representative queries, and then from here we have connected everything back to the actual water, or the, let's say, pH level of the water. Then we have connected everything back to the types of the water. We even model our sequences in the context of bottled water because we are a bottled water brand. And once we do it, we directly connect context to our specific brand type, and we go for sparkling water because it has really good amount of search demand. It is connected to the also bottled water one more time. And then we also use this specific anchor text in this area, ways to test pH of the water. We didn't create it directly. Alkaline, acidic, or some of these sections are not created in a direct way as well, but they have been covered in some of the other content briefs. Since we didn't have enough level of budget or time, it wasn't easy to choose which one to process directly or the first. That's why we needed to define these things inside these areas. Since we didn't open alkaline or acidic water directly, we actually defined them in this area in a better way too. So in the next lecture, we will talk about these contextual bridges a little bit further, then we will go to the articles. Thank you.